Before we get into the vlog, let's do a little recap. Last weekend, I made time for everything that matters, and that's creating, recovering, and living. Between the cold plunges and the saunas, I genuinely reached flow state. I also went to a jungle gym with my family because why not? My inner child was fully activated. But balance isn't something that we just preach, it's something that we actually practice. Hello, good morning, welcome back to my vlog. It's been a while. Actually, no, it's only been a week. I took a week off. I came back from New York, needed some time to decompress and reset before I got back into the work week. Here we are again with another vlog, another day, another vlog. So today I have clinical. I have 6 students on the floor and they're all paired with a nurse. We did morning rounds, we did our check-in, our reports. Students gave medications today, they did their assessments, all the things that are required of a nursing student in the morning, it is done. However, I just kind of found this little nook. I can't even call it a nook. It's kind of like, it's actually a meditation room. And I decided just to narrate in this room because nobody's in here. Anyways, just wanted to take a quick second to talk about toxic nursing, just bossy nurses in general. So I just had a student pull me aside and tell me that, and kind of complain to me saying that their nurse is bossing them around. She doesn't really understand what she's doing wrong, and she kind of feels like she's in the way. She feels like a burden. Here's the thing, when I assign my students to a nurse, I don't know these people. I don't work on these units. And at most, I'm just guessing and hoping and wishing that who I'm pairing them with, are willing to teach, willing to educate, willing to mentor, right? However, I wasn't so lucky this morning. And the thing is with that, I'm not always going to get it right, especially with the fact that I don't know the staff. Anyways, I assigned one of my students to a nurse, as I always do, and, she just got a really bad pick. And as per my student, she's been bossing her around. When a nurse is bossy to a student, meaning barking out orders, throwing out orders, and not explaining why, that isn't teaching. That isn't mentorship. That is just projecting your own stress onto the student. They don't have the tools and they don't have the resources to defend themselves yet. So I told my student, listen, you are here to keep patients safe. You're here to learn. You're not here to run errands for somebody's ego. And so when you encounter things like this, it's very important to ask the nurse what the rationale is behind their orders. And usually that stops them in their tracks because it turns the power dynamics, it turns the power struggle into a clinical conversation, right? And that's exactly where the student belongs. Within that clinical judgment, within the critical thinking realm of healthcare, right? I really encourage my students to say something in the most respectful and professional way, just so we can kind of, stop them in their tracks early on. And typically it kind of dies down from there. If needed, obviously, I'll step in. So if a nurse is giving out demands, being bossy, just telling you to complete these small little insignificant tasks, it's okay to ask what the clinical reasoning or clinical decision making is behind that task, or what the rationale is behind that clinical decision making process, meaning question what they are telling you to do, because it kind of stops them in their tracks. And I find that when students speak up and say something, they kind of think back and say, okay, maybe what I'm asking you to do or telling you to do is not reasonable or not necessary, right? It makes them think twice. Anyways, so I am just going to go back on the floor. We're going to do some rounds and then hopefully take a break. And then we will do midterm evaluations with my students. And hopefully that will take us to the end of the day and go from there. Just finished up midterm evaluations and now I'm getting a quick snack.
Butter or chocolate?
No, just the plain croissant, the butter croissant. Yeah.
Anything else?
And then can I get a tall mint majesty?
How would you take it?
Black, just with a couple ice cubes.
Gotcha.
That's it.
It's a tall size, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. Please.
Thanks.
Nice.
Good morning. Just want to let you guys know that my croissant and small tea was $8. Yeah, but where else would I go, right?
Thank you.
You also got points?
No.
Good.
Thank you, you too.
Morning. So I just made it to work. I had to drive in all the way downtown to the campus. It took me an hour, which it wasn't that bad. I was actually expecting like an hour and a half to 2 hours, but 52 minutes, not terrible. But today the students have simulation and they're doing their skills, they're practicing skills. So I'm probably gonna set up some sort of lab of IV insertions, maybe IV lines, catheters, chest tubes, and I don't know, whatever else, whatever other resources that they have up there. So yeah, this lab is supposed to run for 8 hours. I'm hoping I get to go home a little bit early, but we'll see. Yeah, so it is, I think 7:40 right now, and it starts at 8, so I'm gonna head upstairs. Don't know how much I can film, but I'm gonna try my best and sneak in some footage. But yeah, so today's a little bit different. We don't have clinical, we have simulation, skills lab, so it's a good break from the usual weekly routine. And even though it's an 8-hour day, I get paid for 12. Actually, no, I get paid for 13, which is nice. But yeah, okay. All right, we're going upstairs. It's just your hands, by the way.
Okay. Oh, that's embarrassing.
You're making yourself look bad and stripping. I love a fun trend. So these are some things that I do not care about as a clinical instructor. First things first, I do not care about the color of your pen and which pen you use to take down notes. Just as long as you can read it, that's all that matters. It could be glittery, it could be pink, I don't care. Just have a pen on hand. That's it. Another thing is, I don't care if you need to use the washroom. And with that, you do not need to ask me to use the washroom. I'm not taking count. I'm not monitoring you. So if you need to use the washroom, the bathroom, whatever, do what you need to do. I also don't care about the brand of shoes that you have. It could be Nike, it could be Adidas, it could be New Balance, Hoka. Your shoes could be from Walmart. I don't care as long as they're comfortable, as long as you can move in them. That's all that matters. But I do not care about the brand. It's fine. Wear what you want to wear. I do not care if you don't have it all figured out. I do not care if you have the answers. And I do not care if you say, I don't know, because we're going to figure it out together. You're here to learn. And I don't expect you to know everything. That's why you're here. Last thing is, I don't care if you're sick and you need to stay home. What I do care about is you coming to clinical and spreading your germs. So if you're not feeling well, it's okay to stay home and it's okay to say something. So overall, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be safe and keep your patients safe. That's it. Honestly, it's been such a productive day. Yes, I worked, but then I got other work done. And I also filmed a TikTok, which you guys are gonna see either before this or after this, but pretty productive. And then tomorrow I'm off. What a life I live. What a life I live. Simulation, skills day is done. And because I'm already downtown and I'm not trying to fight any traffic, I'm gonna go to Othership and then we're going to Nut Bar after. So let's go. It is 7 degrees outside and I'm ready to put my shorts on. Like, I'm loving this weather. It is warm. It is actually, no, it's not warm. It's mild. But the sun is out and spring is around the corner, which means that summer is around the corner, which actually means that Christmas is almost tomorrow. So, you know, let's make use of the weather. Othership. I forgot how much I loved it. I did 4 rounds of the cold plunge. 3 of the rounds were a minute and then 1 was 3 minutes. And you know, it just regulates my nervous system. And overall just helps me feel good. It decreases inflammation in my body. It wakes me up. We love Othership. We love the cold plunge. And then I got my favorite drink from Nut Bar. And now, you know, we just gotta face the traffic. I'm anticipating like an hour and a half to Brampton, but whatever, I'm so used to it. And yeah, didn't pay for parking and I didn't get a ticket. You know, today's just a good day and I'm just gonna soak in it. All right, guys, so that is my work week. And we are ending it off with Othership. And what a better way to end the week. It was actually a short work week. It was only 2 days, so I can't complain. But why is it? Do I need Botox? Oh my gosh. Anyways, amazing week. I can't complain. It was a great one. We are gonna go home, probably do some marking, some grading, mark some tests, and then eat some dinner and see where the evening takes us. The day is not over, but this vlog is over. We'll start fresh next week. Bye.